Yeah, that's why they plan to change that. If everything bagel, hey, how are you? Thanks for joining. What part of Ventura County are you in? Doing well. Fillmore, right on. I used to work in Fillmore. Before I sold houses, I sold citrus to mainland China, Southeast Asia. Why can I not get this to open up? Sorry, I'm trying to get my Streamlabs set up. I'm talking to you on TikTok right now, but I'm also trying to get my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube running. There we go. Mohammed, hey. Oh, Ren. What's going on, Ren? Mike has reverb. Got it. Hey, Todd. You should be in bed. What are you doing up? I think that several... I think in several parts of the market, it's already a buyer's market. Makes my voice sound echoey. Got it. Let me try and fix that. Let's go over here. You English?
Yes, I'm English.
Is that any better?
On the echo? That was a good question, though, Daniel. I think certain parts of the market, it's already a buyer's market. Luxury, for example. $1.5 million and above. Yeah, I think the buyers can get some good deals out there right now, too. I mean, if you're tracking what days on market is for a given neighborhood, let's say days on market is 30 days, and a home's been sitting for, say 60 days, I'd be writing an aggressive offer. The old truism, hey, Sherry from Indonesia. The old saying is if you're not embarrassed or if you're not blushing when you're writing your offer, you're not writing it low enough. I think that applies in several parts of the market. Luxury homes, that's remember that. Let's see. Baha, thanks for joining. Mikey, thanks for jumping on.
Justin, hey, thanks for hopping on here. Kimberly, hey, good evening. How are you?
Download FF. I don't know what download FF is. Harold, thanks for jumping on. Drop in the chat where you guys are joining from and what you have questions about. I'm a real estate agent here in Ventura County. I also make a lot of content about Ventura County, cities of Ventura, Oxnard, and Camarillo. DXNY, Weffer, thanks for hopping on. Tibria, thanks for hopping on. Soki59, thanks for jumping on. Chrissy McCabe, hey, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, California market seems to be doing okay compared to national. There are some cities and some states that are absolutely getting clobbered. Florida, for example, certain markets in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, their days on market are increasing, their prices are coming down. Also markets where supply was built pretty rapidly, and where building's much easier and cheaper. That's really had a downward effect on prices. Ventura County home prices in general, though, continue to increase. We're still seeing increases over 2025. 2026 is off to a good start. Lily Love 3, thanks for hopping on. I'm from Ventura. I really enjoy your content. Thanks for saying that, Castronaut. Appreciate you saying that. Castronaut, are you up to date? I've got a video coming out tomorrow, actually, about Emmawood. I went out there this morning and shot some drone. I was a little bit surprised that Emmawood, the entrance road going down into the park, looks like it was repaved, and the riprap there was more riprap put along the coastline to help protect that road. And then I called State Parks to kind of see where they're at for the bridge replacement, and that bridge they think won't actually be demolished until 2027. So, just as I say, I don't know what that is. Sorry. Josh, hey, sorry, not going to have you co-host with me. Joanne, thanks for hopping on. No, I'm sorry, Ren, I don't know what that means. English is my primary language. Gregor, thanks for hopping on. You know what? I think I figured out why that mic was having an issue. Sunshin, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, so anyways, Emmawood, it sounds like Emmawood probably won't be fully back up and functional until 2028, which is a bummer. User 88763108634, thanks for hopping on. Hey, how are you? There was another question over on YouTube that I didn't see because I have some spam here. We'll call it spam. Miss Natura. Hey, thanks for hopping on. What part of the county do you live in? Oh, Ren, thanks for saying that. I guess I like you too. Bye, Ren. Have a good night. Or good day if you're over in Indo. Amara, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, Castronaut, big bummer. Big bummer. And then right on the heels of that, I think they're going to go and replace the Main Street Bridge in downtown Ventura, just west of downtown. That gets you over that little trailer park, or that, not trailer park, where they have the RV campers.
I haven't done an update on video on that in a while because there's really not much to update other than everybody's looking for the dollars to actually get that project done. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the original bid for that project was like $100 million. I should go learn how to build bridges. I can probably figure that out. Maybe I'll get the contract for $50 million. I down that. Thanks for hopping on. Drop in the chat what part of the county you're joining from. Cody Safford, hey, good evening. Thanks for hopping on. Let me know if there are still issues with my mic. I tried to figure that out. Daniel, thanks for the... Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you. Daniel, I think you look good too. I didn't tell you the other day when I saw you in person. You look great. Build bridges with me. Maybe we can go jump on that contract for the Main Street Bridge going over the Ventura River. Get it done for just half the cost, just $50 million. Microphone sounds good. Okay, thanks for saying that. Yeah, the school closures, that's an interesting one. So I attended a East End Community Council meeting, actually several, with Dr. Castro, President Dr. Castro is the supervisor for Ventura County. They really seem to just kind of blame it on birth rates. While choosing to conveniently, it feels as if they're choosing to conveniently ignore the fact that it's just very expensive to live here. A lot of families are moving out. I'm sure you can... Thanks for coming back, Ren. To finish my point there, for cost of living reasons, and that's really what we're seeing, in my opinion. That's what I'm hearing on the front lines. Are my friends and family are moving out either to Nevada or to Arizona or Florida because it's too expensive to live here. And as they're moving out, if they're in their 20s and their 30s, they're taking their children with them, obviously, and so there's fewer kids to sign up at Ventura Unified School District. So my big thing on the Ventura Unified School District piece is that I wish that they weren't just selling off the land, because when you sell off the land, it's gone forever. You lose control over it. You get a nice big payday, a one-time payday, which you can use for capital improvements at the remaining schools, which is nice. Maybe you get some new equipment for kids, or whatever they're going to do with the money. But it's a one-time deal, and I wish that they would instead consider leasing this property on a long-term basis, put a 99-year lease, partner with a developer, have a developer come in and build apartments so they can continue to collect rent over the years. And that way, they're less dependent on state funding. They're less worried about kids moving out of the county. So I had somebody show up in my DMs who was very much in the know on some of the Ventura Unified School District negotiations. So I trust this individual when they tell me. But they said that they actually, the proposal that they had submitted, a component of that was actually leasing and not purchasing the dirt from Ventura Unified. So I'm excited to hear more. Once they're allowed to tell me more about that, they were only allowed to tell me that little piece, and they couldn't say anything more. And I have to obviously protect our identity for now until they're allowed to talk about it publicly. I'm thinking of listing my home and looking for a realtor. Just curious, what is your process like? Great question. So I like to meet with folks, obviously the property, because that's what we're trying to sell, and really determine, what is the condition, what's the quality of the home. Everybody has beautiful homes, but you may have made certain specific upgrades to that property over the years that I wouldn't know about unless I saw it in person. So I like to understand that, kind of go over my marketing program, let people understand, how I do my marketing. And how I plan to get the house sold. The most important thing, though, is always the listing price. If you're trying to sell a home, that listing price, that's not what a home is worth. A home is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. But that listing price is really, it's going to sound cheesy, but it's true. It's an invitation for people to come into your home. So the more aggressive you price a home, the lower you price a home, the more people you're inviting in to see it, and attracting additional interest, possibly offers. And then, of course, the higher you list it, fewer people are going to be interested in it. So that's a little part of the strategy that I like to go over. Stephen Dykes, thanks for hopping on. Good evening. Where are you? What part of the county do you live in? And by the way, thanks for asking that question. When I meet with home sellers, I don't show up with a bunch of paperwork for people to sign. I like to let them get to know me first. I'm not the type that shows a contract in hand saying, sign here. That's not how I like to work. I want people to work with me that like to work, or that know that I'm the right person for them. And I don't think that I achieve that by showing up with a contract for them to write or sign. What else? Are there good questions on Ventura County, what's happening, building? I talked about this a lot in my content. A lot of the building that we're seeing in our county, in our cities, across the state, condos, apartments, luxury apartments. Don't get me started on luxury apartments. But a lot of that building is actually coming from the state of California. So the state of California has decided that building new housing units is a top priority. And so they have passed a slew of laws to get that done and get it done quicker, easier, and cheaper for developers. And so that's why we're seeing a lot of building. The reason why I'm not a fan of more luxury apartments versus for sale product is because it doesn't help people get into home ownership. It doesn't help people kind of buy into their community. If you go and buy a condo or you buy a home, you're more likely to care about your community, be a little bit more involved. It's important. Hey, Apples and Honey, thanks for hopping in here. Tell me what part of the county you are joining from. Celestiu, hey, thanks for hopping in. Hollywood G, hey, thanks for hopping in. Let me know what your questions are. If there's anything you want to talk about the community, development projects. What about the sinkhole on Front Street? Just drop it in the chat here. That's a good question. Donations at Pierpont. I'm having an issue with my chat window, so I'm both on TikTok on my mobile device, and I'm also over on my laptop at the same time. On Streamlabs, trying to get to other platforms too. And I missed a question here. It said the end of the question was donations to Pierpont Elementary. If you're still on here and want to throw that back in the chat, that would be awesome. Tinkerbell 1110, hey, thanks for hopping on. Mouse and Goose, hey, how are you? Yep. Yeah, good question. Yeah. Part of that, the question was on Melrose with new developments. So Melrose are essentially, think of it as an additional tax. When developers go and they build new subdivisions, just think of the collection of River Park. They have to put things like money for schools, money for sidewalks, for parks, etc. And when a developer goes and builds a new community, they can either pay the city directly those fees and those dollars and those monies to get those things built and sustained, or they can decide to go the Melrose route, which then separates it from the purchase price of the home, and they puts it onto the homeowner. So the reason why people look at the collection and go, wow, these homes are so much more affordable, the purchase prices or the asking prices are so much lower than comparable communities, is because that those fees that should have been paid to, or not should have been, but could have been paid to the city up front, are instead being paid out over 30 years or in perpetuity. Excuse me. That was a good question. Jake Sunabarak, hey, thanks for hopping on. Tell me in the chat what part of the county you're joining from. Yeah, whoever. Oh, there we go. Hey, Tano Jimmy, thanks for hopping on. Let me know in the chat what part of the county you're joining from. What are you excited to talk about tonight? Let me know. Ren, looks like you're still there. Thanks for the cow emoji. Appreciate that. Not sure what that means. Yep. Midwest Pale Ale. Yep. Made West. Hey, Mo DCH, thanks for hopping on. Tell me what part of the county you're joining from. Yes. Yeah, okay, so the good question. The project that's on the corner of Harbor and Fifth, if you go to TrueMark, which is the developer, if you go to their website, they are saying that they're going to have, they're going to begin construction on mobile homes, I think it was May or June, with sales beginning at the end of this year. Most likely, they build in phases, right? If they're going to build 180 however many homes, they're not going to build all 180 at one time. They're going to start pouring slabs and foundations for phase one. Let's say that's 20, the first 20 properties that they're going to go ahead and build. If you get in there early enough, you can actually go to the sales office and pick finishes. If you want to upgrade the flooring, upgrade the kitchen, upgrade the bathrooms, whatever. Just know that that's where developers make all of their money. Like all the gravy on top of the project comes from when you're choosing those upgrades and you're choosing to make those upgrades. Whoops. Wow. Sorry about that. For the folks on TikTok. Daniel Yoder, hey, 341, you probably saw that phone just totally absolutely crash. Anyways, yes, that's where developers make their money. So I have bought new construction before, and when I've bought new construction, I had that option to go and make those upgrades, make all those changes with the builder before I actually close. The advantage of doing it that way is that when you actually get the keys to the home, it's already done, all the work is completely done, you're moving into a turnkey home with the finishes that you chose. But if you want to save a buck, like me, then you can close on the home and then go make those upgrades after the fact. Ren, tell me why you're crying. Why are you crying, Ren? What's going on? Too much good information about Ventura County real estate, that's what it is. Hey, user 439-725-75312. Thanks for hopping on here. Let me know in the chat what part of the county you're joining from. Should you use a realtor? Okay, so should you use a realtor if you're going to buy a new construction home? It's absolutely your choice. You can go walk into that sales office and they have salespeople there working on behalf of the developer, whose job is to get the best price, the highest price, and the best terms from you, the buyer. And they will also work really hard to get you to buy those upgrades that I just mentioned, and they're also going to work really hard to kind of get you to the closing table as quickly as they can. And if that's for you, fantastic. But if you'd rather have a licensed professional in your corner advocating on your behalf, then I suggest that you go and have an agent. Now, most of the time, these developers, some developers are going to actually be paying for your buyer's agent. Yes, they're going to pay for your buyer's agent fees, so you're not going to come out of pocket in order to pay their own agent, which is great. And they're also going to include other incentives. I have had people ask me, like, hey, Grant, if I go direct to the builder, does that mean if they don't have to pay you, then I get those savings? Absolutely not. Developers are in the business to make money and to get as much profit to their bottom line as they possibly can. So if you're not walking in there with a realtor, they're going to save those dollars for themselves. They're not going to pass those savings on to you, the home buyer. So just something to keep in mind. What areas of Ventura County seem to have more inventory? Fantastic question.
we're kind of short across the board. Moving into the spring market, I was expecting to see a big increase over 2025. We never really got there. I feel like our spring market was kind of robbed from us just with all the international things that are going on, the stock market, interest rates. But if you're looking for an inventory-rich market, you're probably going to have your best bet in Oxnard. There's generally quite a bit in there. Let's see. Hey, Noah, thanks for hopping on. Bruno, thanks for hopping on. Parker with flag. Thanks for hopping on. Let me know down in the chat what questions you guys have about Ventura County real estate. Let me know if the sound quality is all right. I'm trying to stream both from my phone and at the same time as Streamlabs here on my desktop. So, tell me more about what kind of led you to that question about higher inventory in Ventura County. What areas are you interested in? Bori Colaris 23 cookie emoji. Thanks for hopping in here. Let me know what questions you might have about Ventura County development, community, real estate, etc. All the good stuff. We're here to cover it all. Ren, I want to know if you are still crying. Please let me know. Jerry, hey. Jerry, let me know. Well, I'll let you know. I think my clients are happy with the work you did up there on Foothill. Appreciate you doing that. Ventura primarily. Yeah, so this same time last year, we were at about, I think it was 350-ish active listings, and right now we're just under 300. So there are fewer homes for sale. Days on market are a little bit higher than this time last year, but there's fewer homes available for sale. So if you were on earlier, I mentioned it's a bit of a wonky market. It's kind of strange what we're seeing. Spring market was robbed from us. Yeah. Homes that are priced at or near the median for City of Ventura, for example, which is just under $1 million. Those seem to still be moving along and chugging along. And I think that the reason why we're seeing that is because consumers that are shopping for homes that are near those price points, they're making moves because they have to. So, whoops, we just had our third kid. We need another bedroom. We just got married. We're now excited to go buy our first home. Different things that are coming on CRYS. Thanks for hopping on here. Homes that are priced in the luxury end, that's like $1.5 million and above in Ventura County, specifically West County. Those are what are sitting a little bit longer. Folks that are shopping for those type of homes, they don't have to buy. It's not a need. It's more of a want. We want to go buy our retirement home at the beach in Oxnard. We want to go get a second property to enjoy and escape the heat from Los Angeles out on the beaches of Ventura. Those folks don't have to buy, so they are kind of pulling back because they kind of assess what's happening, war in the Middle East, interest rates, stock market, etc. Good question, though. Thank you for asking. Hey, Taylor, 621. Thanks for hopping in. Let me know what questions you have about Ventura County community development, those darn new apartments, and real estate. Do I work Riverside? No, I'm sorry. I don't work in Riverside. No. I have agents that are in the Berkshire Hathaway network. My brokerage is Berkshire Hathaway. I have trusted agents in the Berkshire Hathaway network that I could refer you to, but no, I will sadly not be driving out to Riverside to show properties. I really try to focus here in Ventura County, specifically West County, but I'll go up over the hill if my clients bring me up there. Good question. Let me know. Send me a DM if you need to be connected with an agent out there. We'd be happy to connect you with competent and kind individuals. If rates were to come down, do you think more homes will come onto the market? If rates were to come down, do you think more homes will come onto the market? Yes. So right now there's what's called the lock-in effect. So back in 2020, 2021, 2022, a lot of people bought homes, and they bought them when interest rates were at 2.5% to 3%. And so their monthly payment is very low because of those low interest rates. And they might have had the third kid. They might now hate their spouse and want to kick them to the curb and go get a new place without their spouse and get a new spouse. In order for them to do that, they're going to have to trade in that 2.5% mortgage for 6.5%. That's a massive jump. That has a huge change to your monthly payment. And most people when they're shopping for homes, that's kind of what they're focused on. They're focused on what is their monthly payment, how much are they paying to actually live in the house on a monthly basis. And that's going to jump dramatically compared to when they bought their home back in 2021, for example. So if rates were to drastically come down, do I think that more inventory would unlock? Absolutely. There are people right now that cannot stand their spouse. There are people right now that are bursting at the seams because they bought a 2-bedroom condo and they now have 4 kids, 4 years later, and they need more space. Many of the reasons why people need to move, but they're holding on and they're choosing not to list their home for sale. So yes, great question. I think if rates were to come down, we would see more homes hit the market. Brian, hey, thanks for hopping on here. Brooke Hart, hey, how are you? Good evening. Tell me what part of the county you're joining from. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss any messages here. I am streaming from 2 different things, from my cell phone and my desktop at the same time, trying to hit different platforms, so forgive me if I miss your question. And hopefully my phone doesn't crash out again, because that was kind of fun. No, just kidding, it's not fun. Shameless plug for donations. Okay. That's what that was. The shameless plug for donations to Pure Pond Elementary. Yes. It sounds as if I will be the vice president of... It's not donations. Vice president of fundraising. Let's just call it vice president of fundraising for the Pure Pond Elementary PTA. So yes, if you have a small business in Ventura County and you would like to sponsor a wonderful local elementary school, let me know. I would love to take your dollars. Let's go raise money for kids. Yahoo. Hey, Meltdown Missy. Thank you for hopping on. Brad Dovesign. Hey, how are you? Oh gosh, it's 9:30. Okay. If no other questions, I'm going to hop off and go get in bed because I'm wiped out, recovering from a head cold, and feeling tired and sleepy, and it's 9:30. And what am I doing on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook other than enjoying my time talking to you guys? Okay, cool. I'm going to sign off now. If no other questions, thank you guys so much, and let's do it again tomorrow.